Hey there, Jets fans. Well, another brutal loss for the Jets in Week 16 here against the Packers. Second straight week that they blow a fourth quarter lead, and this one, honestly, was the worst of the bunch. I mean, this is the fourth time that they've blown a fourth quarter lead, third time in the last 4 weeks. This time they blow a 15-point fourth quarter lead, have to go to overtime with the Packers after tying the game late with a field goal and still lose in overtime. But really one of the big takeaways from this game is Trumaine Johnson. You know, that penalty late just adds to the struggles that he's had this season. I mean, since the beginning of the year, week 1, he gets torched by Kenny Golladay all day long. Week 13 against the Titans, he helps cost them a game with a big penalty in that one. Today, big penalty that cost them in overtime, that long pass interference in overtime. Against the Bills in that embarrassing game in week 10 it was. You know, he gets torched right off the bat for a long completion. I mean, Trumaine Johnson has had a brutal first season with the Jets, and honestly, that should make general manager Mike Maccagnan a bit nervous. Obviously, the general consensus right now is that it looks like Mike Maccagnan will likely keep his job this offseason, but there are no guarantees on that front yet. So far as we can tell, things could certainly still change between now and Black Monday. And frankly, as the Jets, as Christopher Johnson, Woody Johnson, the ownership here is looking forward into the offseason, they have to take into account who they want to spend this $100+ million in free agency. And you know, the Jets haven't signed a ton of big money free agents over the last few years under Maccagnan. Really, Darrelle Revis, the one guy, and obviously that one didn't work out so well. A couple other pieces that they've kind of signed here and there. Kelvin Beachum hasn't exactly been great. Morris Claiborne, mixed reviews on him. Buster Skrine, same thing. I mean, you can go down the list of guys that Maccagnan has signed, and obviously it's been at best a mixed bag in a lot of cases. That's the reason the Jets are in this spot. But Trumaine Johnson is really the big money guy that the Jets have gone out and got over the last few years, and so far he has been a complete bust for the Jets. I mean, yes, there's 4 more years left on his contract after this for him to try to turn it around, but early returns are not good. And so if the Jets are on the fence about Maccagnan and they're starting to think about who they want to spend all of this money and kind of try to chase some big money free agents this offseason, there is a chance, it would seem, that the Jets ownership looks at Trumaine Johnson, sees that Mike Maccagnan splashed a bunch of money on him and that it is just not working out, and perhaps that could be a tipping point in them deciding, you know what, we'd rather trust someone else with our money. So over this last week, Maccagnan should be sweating a little bit about the performance of Trumaine Johnson and be a little nervous about whether or not ownership can still trust him going forward.